I found an article from 2024 in which this character accusing young people in Britain of being lazy or lacking a work ethic is estimated to be worth, wait for it, shall I do a hook and tease? I think I've got this right. I'm just double checking that. It's £242 million. I don't know whether that influences your attitude to his intervention in this space, but £262 million, with BrewDog having overtaken Carlsberg in 2022 in the international hit parade of beer producers. I've always been more of a Beavertown man myself, I must be completely honest, not least because Beavertown has fascinating and rather surprising links to my hometown of Kidderminster, which I may share with you one day. But what do we think? I mean, has he got a point? Obnoxious though the expression of the opinion may be, and difficult though it may seem to take lessons on work-life balance from a man worth £262 million, is Britishness part of the problem that we're examining here? Julian is in Chipping Sodbury. Julian, what would you like to say?
I was just saying to your researcher that there's no reason for people to work hard these days, young people, the majority of the population, because what are they working for? They're not working to be able to afford a house. They're not working to be able to afford to have children. You know, there's many things that that have an effect, but I think one of the reasons is there's no reward.
You work to survive.
Yes.
It's gone back to a sort of 19th century model where, the next thing to happen would be a workhouse, so that if you fall out of that work to survive mode, you literally rely upon the charity of the parish. There's no real prospect of carving out security for you and your children for the future.
Something amusing that I read was that they're saying that medieval serfs had more free time and time with their families because of religious holidays than people working today. And I mean,
unlike Mark Zuckerberg, I'm still a fan of fact checking, so I can't let that go completely unchallenged. It sounds persuasive, but then I would play in the Downton Abbey model when you only got Boxing Day off. You could put in a 364 days a year, because the alternative was hunger. The alternative was starving to death. That's why the Foundling Hospital. I'm doing an event later today with the charity that grew out of the Foundling Hospital set up by Thomas Coram, because young women couldn't keep their children and families couldn't afford to keep children. They'd hand them over. When did you arrive at this conclusion? Because how old are you, Julian, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 61.
So your generation traditionally would have been the most likely, perhaps, to think that young people needed a kick up the backside. Has it been a slow realisation that things aren't that simple, or have you known this for a long time now?
For quite a while now.
Right.
I'm in a very comfortable financial position, and it has always amazed me the number of people, my compatriots, that just don't have any recognition of how tough life is when you haven't got a bit of money behind you.
Yeah, that's really nicely put, recognising the role that luck plays in all of our lives. But sometimes it's the luckiest people in the world who are the least likely to acknowledge luck has played a part in their comfort, their security or their success. You get it a lot with the private schools conversation, of course. I work bloody hard, send my children to private. Well, how hard do you think these people work on 0-hour contracts and minimum wage? You think they're phoning it in?